Hello everyone and welcome back to Hates the Name Plays Monster Train. So, I did another run off camera and actually ended up beating Covenant Rank 15 with this sort of vanilla first Monster Train setup. It was nothing too exciting, but ended up getting a pretty strong champion and a strong hollow. Actually, these two pictured right here were kind of my two key units that won it for us. So we did beat Covenant rank 15 there. Now we've unlocked Covenant rank 16. Merchant purge costs 20% more. So I'm wondering if by the end of the Covenant rank 25, you're not going to be able to change your deck from the start basically at all, except for some free things, I guess. I was kind of considering today doing something like this setup maybe. Still no wins yet, and I know we've tried this recently, so I guess I could switch it to something else, but I feel like there's only a few that we've got no wins with. Let's see. Win, win, win. How about here? Win, 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 win. Granted, this one's not since rank 1. Um, Again, rank 1. Win, 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 win. None here. Win, win, win. No wins yet. Okay, so we could try a spell-based Umbra Stygian deck. Let's try that out. See what it looks like. So it's going to be interesting because Stygian tends to be very spell-based, whereas Umbra is very unit-based. So this is what we get to start with in our hand. We're going to be losing half of our benefits. That does hurt Gorge units like the ones that give themselves damage shields or lifesteal, like this here. But hopefully we'll be able to work around that. Incant abilities trigger an additional time or +3 magic power. Just trying to think of what incant abilities we might hope to see. I guess we could expect to see maybe like one of those sirens and give them incant rage or incant plus attack, is it? Or we just do this, and I think we'll do that. It's just a straight benefit to all of our spells. Now, there's a temptation to this glutton unit, but I am kind of tempted to go for the architect again, just because I do like to have that one mega floor set up. I'm not sure if it's the best idea, honestly, but it's what I'm trying this time. If things don't work out, well, it's okay. We'll just try it again. I feel like this is one of the first times I've done this pairing where Umbra is our main and Stygian is our backup. So you're gonna take a lot of damage doing this potentially, except that we're definitely gonna give him a little bit of a block here. So at least we're getting the front guy killed. We should be able to finish him off with a spell pretty easily. Excuse me. So let's take care of that. We'll give him another blocker here. And I don't think we have anything that has offering right now, so honestly these tokens are a little useless. Except for I guess to draw things that we maybe wanna pull out when we have something worse in hand. But that's not a great use. Could try and kill her next round if we get another one of those. That said, I think it's worth giving him this right now because the boss is showing up soon. I wish I had given him the damage shield, but I guess it doesn't matter if he has the damage shield. Still another round of attacks. How are we doing? 100 out of 140. Pretty good. We've got room for another train steward, so we can pull one out and give it plus a decent chunk here. It doesn't pull it from the discard pile. Are we out of train stewards? We were out of train stewards. That was my mistake. It probably told us 0 available units. Okay, so pretty big mistake there, but we'll just do that and we've still got it. It's a good lesson to pay attention to moving forward. Here, this is a pretty strong choice for me. It lets us attack the back units, which we don't currently have a way to do. Likewise, this is pretty good. It benefits 3 times from our talisman, and also can hit multiple units, including back units. I like this guy as a tank quite a bit, but we're not really doing a frostbite build. I mean, I could therefore go for one of these two, but I'm not really sure what we want. We're gonna want a gorge unit to be out front on the gorge floor anyways. So maybe we want one of these rage units to be in the back with our champion. Rage or just buffs. So rage, they get +2 damage because you get 2 per stack, but then it also diminishes every turn. This just straight up goes up every turn, but it's only 1 damage. I'm not sure which one's considered maybe the better of the two. She starts a little stronger, 5 extra attack and 5 extra health. So it would take 5 spells for her to catch up. And in that time, she would get an extra 5 spells. She would get an extra 10 attack. But then she'd be losing it every round. Plus, rage is a buff, so it would be debuffed or halved. So I guess let's try her out. I don't think I've ever actually tried the sirens, at least not successfully. So we want a gorge unit, so hopefully we get that here, and we did. So that's pretty awesome. The morsel master would have been nice as well. Don't get me wrong, but this is where we want to start. Definitely give him some extra HP. That's a really solid option for us. And I am tempted to do that. I kind of would rather give him more HP because I think it'll be worth a little bit more than those damage shields. Because if you think about it, you're giving him 25 extra HP. That's usually more than 2 hits. Most creatures don't hit for more than 9. And that's with like a trial active. So yeah, you can get more than 2 hits out of that. So I'm not sure if it's worth a reroll to try and fish for. I'm not really convinced by Endless here, and anyone else doesn't really need the damage shield. So I think I will do a reroll, and we did get the +25 health. So now he's a really strong tank for us, so that's great. We can, I think we can afford to do this. We're likely to take some fire damage here, but we do get a decent amount of attack spells, and they're all 1 health units, so we might be able to clear at least some of them out before they reach the pyre. So we're definitely looking to do something like that, and for their safety, maybe this. It would absorb both attacks and actually survive, which is kind of bad that it would survive. So maybe, well, damage shield is nice. We probably want him to get it. So then maybe we do this instead. We kind of like the gain the energy too, but I gotta put something over it, I feel like. I guess we incanted him as well, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, we're taking some damage there. And unless we start drawing soon, which thankfully we drew a useful guy. Oh, here, look, we got a use for the tokens. Granted, we're making these guys stronger. So you're strong enough now that if I play him, he just dies. And the same is true up here. I'm gonna do this. I know it makes him stronger, but it also makes her significantly stronger. And now I'm realizing we have no space for him to gorge, and that's that's a huge issue. Okay, so we're gonna have to correct that in the future. Fortunately, he's rather tanky already, but yeah, we definitely have to fix that going forward. How much health do you have? 18. You're one hit to the pyre, and I don't think we can kill you any faster, so there's no point in using this. It would actually be a detriment. So I think we can afford to do that here. I'll put him down and at least feed him some junk. And then I'm gonna put the buff on our champion here since he's got the higher damage. Oh, I thought he was already one hit. Oh, because she healed him. Of course. I didn't even think of it. And sadly, we don't have the Ember to do that because of the Ember Drain. Fortunately, however, we don't need to worry about it because it's already over. And our tanky boy actually survived despite not even gorging for the shield. There's a temptation here. Yeah, I think we can make that work on back units. And since we have so much offering, this is pretty tempting as well. It's kind of just like we have 2 offering tokens, so it's 18 damage, but only really want it when we have the offering tokens. I'm not sure if it's good enough to take. I mean, I guess the frostbite keeps applying, although frostbite's probably a debuff that can be removed. Same with spell weakness. Not totally convinced, but I think I guess just to make our offering tokens have a purpose, or at least a little more of a purpose. Here we have an interesting choice. I'd kind of prefer the Umbra banner, but I also would prefer to get an artifact here than go to a merchant of magic with not enough money to be worthwhile. Next time we'll probably want the health. All right, let's see what we get here. So it's another damage shield boy if we want, or of course another gorge unit that attacks. I've never made super good use of these guys, so I'm not too convinced by them. Could probably take him since we could stand to have another floor going. Our champ and one of these guys on the bottom, and then our siren and the other one on the middle, something like that. Although we're gonna be going to a duplicate side next time since we want that pyre health probably. So we could just duplicate our already strong version. Okay, so we skip. That makes me wish that we'd gone to the right side, but I guess there's no going back now, so better just deal with our options. That's not a bad option here. The fact that this deals this damage plus this frostbite to all units on the floor is really nice. How much lifesteal does this give? 6. I mean, I guess I should know that because it's double, but I didn't actually know it was 3. That's good. And I think we have enough money to make that worth doing. We definitely want to make one of these cheaper, and since this doesn't have an offering option, let's do that. I'll do this. We've invested in it now. Ooh, interesting. It's always weird picking up a card from one of the clans that you're not playing as. I'm just having a drink of water, sorry. Would we prefer... Which would we prefer? The Melting Remnant seems like it might have some better synergies with our Umbra. So we could give a unit burnout, that doesn't seem great. Removing debuff effects and burnout, but burnout doesn't matter. But debuff effects, I'm not sure what debuffs we would expect to run into. It's not like we're being sapped, right? We're being cleansed. We could consume all cards in hand and add a draft unit and enhance it, but it's still gonna burn out in one turn. It's an interesting card. It gives us like a one turn big attack. It could potentially like bail us out of a situation, but then you know we're giving up a bunch of cards by consuming them. I think it's a little risky to take this, so I'm gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna take the risk, but I recognize that means we kind of didn't make our deck a whole lot better here. We skipped this, and we didn't get a whole lot out of that. So hopefully we're still strong enough to take this fight, and then we can make ourselves better in the future. So we learned that we have to save room here. Sadly, I can't set up on this floor now because of the bomb. And they have damage shields, so I can't just hit it with this. We're gonna want the... Well, we don't have the other Crucible Warden yet, of course. So we're gonna just want to put probably a Train Steward up there. Just to give her some block. We need to be feeding this guy. This doesn't have a great target, but I guess it'll hit one of our Train Stewards. We need to be feeding this guy, but we need to cast our spells up here if we can. And then feed him and keep the spells casted away from him. We could give him Lifesteal, but then we'd be giving up our next turn, basically. Kind of like this option. I should have done that earlier when I had 2 mana left. Instead of playing both of them, I should have made a better one. But we can wait for it to come back around. Hopefully we can get like a Lifesteal Morsel for this guy. So let's go up here to our incant floor and do that to get rid of this. And we'll do this. There's a Lifesteal Morsel like we were hoping for. So that'll be nice. Once he gorges next round, he'll hit something and heal himself up 20. We could kill both of them and save this one, or we can kill both of kill this, buff her up twice, and then they both attack him. I like this option better, because we might want that space if we do make a buff Train Steward. Unfortunately, we didn't draw a offering token. Do we want to cast this down here? Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think this is worth doing. He's already dead, so we don't really need to do that. We don't want to cast him because we want him to come back around. I think he's our last unit. Yeah, we want to be able to prism retrieval him. So I think we just do this. Keep feeding our guys some more damage shields. This is a very good option. Drew this on the wrong turn. So we have an interesting situation in front of us. This is gonna deal 15 damage. It's not enough to get a kill. No, there's that. We do 20 with our pyre. So if we do 6 to her, then we can, our pyre will kill her in one shot. Sadly, we didn't get the benefit from that. I'm thinking we do want to do this. We don't mind dumping either one. We'll dump that. Chose the wrong one to dump, I think. Let's cast this up here, because we don't need this to be cast for any amount of mana, actually. If it's going to be used on this guy, which is what I'm planning to do with it. Did that burn that card up? No, okay. It's not a consumed card. Good. So we took 2 damage out of that, I think. Not too bad. Here. Here. What do we do that's best to do? Probably make morsels. So maybe we ditch this card, or whatever we draw if it's worse. If I ditch this, then I could do that again and ditch one of whatever we draw. I know that it kind of makes our hand smaller, but it double incants. And it gave us 2 chances to get real strong, which we got strong enough to win, so that was the goal. We were kind of using the top floor as a backup floor. It wasn't getting extremely strong, so it's not like something to be too excited about. We don't do enough frost for that to be worthwhile. Deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 2 times the number of spells in your deck. 3 times. 2 times the number of spells. 3 times. That's already 38 damage, and we have the +3 on that, and then it's 3 times. So that's really good amount of damage. I think that's worth taking. Full stop. And I guess he incants, so he kind of works as a good tank for our Siren. We don't really need the capacity, I don't believe. We could probably use the energy a little more. We have a few expensive spells, so that's where I'm gonna go with that one. And yeah, let's go here. And now that I think about it, I forgot that we were planning on doing a duplicate target. So maybe here is better? Because a morsel maker would probably be better for us right now. If we could get that, or even a morsel master. Just something to help us feed our gorge unit, because he's not really getting super fed right now. Also, we want to make our new shark tanky boy much tankier. If we can get him plus 25 HP, we'd be happy. So morsel maker is exactly what we were asking for. Plus 25 HP is exactly what we were asking for. Multi-strike. I mean, it's got to be on her, I guess. Granted, she doesn't exactly hit super hard yet, but let's make her hit a little harder then. So we're flat broke, but I think we did do a good job of getting stuff out of that we wanted. And I think we can afford to cut at least one train steward. Probably could afford to cut more than one train steward. But maybe also one of these, just because they do put a lot of them in our deck. And here we have an interesting option. This does make him stronger than this, though that trample would be kind of interesting. But it does make him take up one extra pip, which I think we still have space for, technically. But maybe we'll just take this to make it easier. Easier on ourselves to get everything set up, because I know the morsel maker can be kind of, he can get tricky sometimes. Um, we're flat broke, so I think it's worth trying for. I'll take a look ahead again. We're here. There's a removal and a merchant of steel. We kind of like this option. Granted, 150 is not enough to be too excited about, but I think we do want to go this way. So Pyre Health will be good. So with that in mind, hopefully we can survive this trial. I'll admit though, it could be a little dicey. See, this is the setup situation I kind of predicted would happen, where we got the morsel maker before we get uh, the front unit, and we know the morsel maker is going to fill up 2 more of these pips every turn, so we need those last 2 spaces so we can fit this guy in. So you guys do 2 damage each. If we play her, she's going to take 2, 4, 6 damage because we'd put one of these in front. I think we have to do it, but maybe we play her on the top floor, and then she's taking a little bit less. Yeah, I think that's okay. Uh, we basically needed to get her out there. And we're just really hoping we draw our tank. We did. With plus 25 HP, he's actually pretty decently tanky now. We get you down there, so that's solid for us. We can be a little bit greedy here, especially because it gives us these morsels. And we might as well feed you 1. Since it's to attack, we'll just use it to block. And I'll do that. And we're out of Ember. Could put this guy down to attack somewhere, but he's not going to survive anywhere, so I guess we just let him go through the deck. That was an 8 damage unit that made it up, so that's a bit rough, I'll admit. Here I think our only hope there is to draw a train steward. We did draw this with the token now though, so that's really good. Because you're killing here already from full health, we know that this floor is pretty solid. So we're probably gonna cast it on this floor, since it looks like it's got a little harder time to deal with. So now they're all much closer to death. I think we can afford to do this, and then do this. And we knew we would be hitting a train steward here, but at least he'll be well, not tough in terms of health, but he'll be a harder hitting train steward. Okay, I was gonna say, if that guy survives, our train steward's dead. Though we can put one of these guys in front. So let's make a couple morsels. We weren't gonna cast this train steward, so there's no reason not to make a couple. Here, sure, let's give him some health. Give him something back. You're making it up, but you don't attack, so we don't care. So let's just use this down here. This floor doesn't do a ton of damage because it's largely, well, largely our champion who does the most damage here, but it's largely built around making him tanky as possible so that we can survive the boss fight. So let's see, lifesteal on the front guy makes sense, I think. He's gonna lifesteal as many turns as he has damage shields for. I don't think that really synergizes well. Here, I think we can do this. Well, we can do that now. So there's a benefit to using that to give him 6 lifesteal. Let's hit him there, and then let's pop him just to save our units getting hit harder. And we don't have any Ember, so not a lot to be done here. Hit him for 3. They're already dead anyways. So we see the lifesteal is getting drained even though he's not taking any actual damage yet. But his damage shield just wore off. So he should have healed on the next attack, assuming his damage shield was already done after 6 rounds. Or before 6 rounds, I guess. We don't have space. Actually, yeah, we do. We had a full floor. But do we want? Like, what do we get from +2 Ember per turn? We're not really making a ton of use of that. Granted, we could use it for an even stronger Prismal Retrieval. Or for an even stronger Mind Collapse. But that's about it. So I don't think we want this unit. It's tempting because it's a decent unit, but I don't think we really want it. We could use this. Like, we've currently got a floor that we're not really doing a ton with. Currently, we just put train stewards on, so clearly not the best use of it. We could cut it down by 1. We don't mind that. But then there's also this option. The damage shields would stack with our Crucible, whatever he's called, Collector, Warden, nailed it. So it would stack with his damage shields and give him rage, which just makes him hit harder. Or we could put it on our champion in like the final rounds, or we can put it on morsels, which is something I haven't really done before. So I think we'll take that. And here, I think I like this too much not to take it. Like, Ice Storm is tempting, don't get me wrong. If we give this any amount of damage buffs, and it's already getting 5 times the effects of our talisman, but this is so strong, and it works so well with offering. Granted, we only have 1 offering spell currently, but still, it's just a really strong spell. It's really easy to use. So I think we still go this way. I do kind of want to upgrade some spells, and like money's nice, but I'm inclined to go, yeah, maybe this time, like on the next one here, we'll go right. Okay, get the remains, because there's no decision making involved there. Let's cut another train steward. We want to make him a little tankier, which we should have the option to do now. We can cut one of these or cut one of these. And I think we cut one of these because we have the Morsel Maker. We're not gaining as much from that anymore. Multi-strike's not really what we're looking for. We could give him multi-strike, and then we would hope to give him plus 10 damage or something. Feels a little hard to put that on though, without first having the damage. There's the damage, but I'm okay with having missed out on it. My main concern with putting a little bit of damage on him is that then he might kill himself on spikes, or, well, I guess he would die to sweep even without the attack. So it's really just spikes. So I guess he can afford it. Okay, so moving along here. 71 pyre health, not too bad. That said, this is very difficult. I think these guys are likely to make it up even without this turned on. I don't think we can really withstand the amount of damage they'll deal if we turn this on. I love a random artifact. Artifacts are very strong, potentially, game making, but I just don't think we can do it. So you gain armor? Yeah, these guys are so annoying. Especially with these guys who make them stronger as well. It's not an easy way to deal with them. So she wouldn't survive unless we give her damage shield, but we really don't want to put a damage shield down for Ember Drain. I think we want to do this on this, but we'd like to play her so that we can make use of the incant. So let's play her here. We might end up playing her here and him on the top floor. We'll see what we get out of this first, though. Okay. So yeah, maybe we'll play the top floor. Do that. Give us some extra ember next round. I think it's still worth doing this, even though it makes them both stronger. If we can kill him, it would be worth it, but I don't see a way to kill him right now. So we're getting our floor set up here, which is nice. And get our incant trigger. I don't mind the idea of giving this guy lifesteal and putting another unit down here. The problem being this guy would harvest off of him being eaten, so we don't really want to risk that. We'll just give him that lifesteal bonus. And again, I don't know if we can really withstand the Ember Drain on next round. Maybe we could have. Though again, I'm not sure what we would have put it on necessarily. So how healthy is this guy? 69, but he is gonna die, so that's actually good. This is an easy play. Get rid of that. We can easily use this to kill one of these guys. Probably this one. But before we do that, we can afford to do this. Since it's only got to do 3 damage, and it can do that with 0 ember. Granted, we get 2 ember for getting the kill anyways. I mean, we could use it to do 9 damage to the front guy instead, but I think it's better off used to take him out to save us some damage. And granted, I know it gives him armor, which sucks, but we gotta deal with that. Playing him would give him another harvest trigger, so I think we don't do it. I wonder if we got that big guy killed on the top floor. I think we might. Yes. We have both of them killed, actually, so that's pretty nice. I think here we want to play this. Yeah. So that's pretty nice. Granted, he's going to basically just heal off of this floor, which is a little rough. I think this is a solid option. Let's see. Putting a unit out here, or one of these guys down here, gives him another 10 armor. So I'm thinking maybe we can afford to do that. So let's just do this. Oh, and I was planning on doing this to finish, but I didn't plan properly because I'm bad. I've done this way too often. So we're just gonna let that slide. I don't know how I always get it wrong in my head that we have more ember than we do. But it seems to happen. So you are dead, so that's very good. He's not taking much. This would hit the front unit for 43. Do you have 60? So it would take 2, and then the third one would hit him and kill both of them. But then he would gain 20 armor. But then we would hit him for a bunch, so there's a trade-off there. We would still take the same 8 damage to our tank. The alternative being something like this, where it only kills him, but it puts frostbite on all of them. But then they both get stronger from his extinguish, and we end up taking more damage as a result. So we probably want to do this. So we'll start with that. The damage output here should be enough that we get the kill here. And then we might as well do something on this floor to gain a little extra, I know we're giving him more armor now, but I think it's okay. Gain a little extra on our multi-strike unit. This is an interesting option. We can hit a train steward and make a pretty strong, not health-wise, but damage-wise train steward. But you do 5 times 5, which means you're gonna crush through any train steward we put down here, no matter how much damage they do. So I think our only real option is just to do this. And then I guess this. We could still do this, but there's not a lot of point to it. You are dead, so that's good. Do we have a morsel going through here? We do. I guess there's a chance it pulls out a morsel, and it did. So, well, it doesn't fit on that floor, so we'll just feed this guy. So hope to get a decent chunk done here, and 242 out of 683 is okay. We'll put that guy down to give him a little something to snack on. We can trigger this. That's actually a very good draw. I could probably have put the damage shield on our big guy up there, but let's put it on him now. That way we don't get the effects of the Ember Drain and we get the benefits of it and the incant. We'll do this for an incant trigger and then do this for some damage. And now we've got him about half health. A little bit below half health actually. And he hasn't even reached our final floor yet. Now he has. But he's dead. So it doesn't matter what we do. Destroyed. Now, do I think we would have killed a massive 1,000 or 2,000 HP boss with that setup? No, I don't think so. I think we're still lacking in damage. Our incant lady just doesn't get like ridiculous levels of strength. She was doing like I think 20, maybe close to 30 damage times 2, which is pretty good, but it's not like absurdly high. And then these units don't really hit that hard either. And he doesn't add a whole lot either. And our spells don't hit like insanely hard either. A cave-in might be nice. It'll allow us to like really stack a floor, but then we have troubles with potentially having too many units on the floor because we'd have 1, 2, 3, and then he summons 2, so that's already 5, and then plus him and her would be 7, so we could fit them technically all on one floor, and just he would keep summoning. It would mean we wouldn't be putting any morsels out at all. So we wouldn't be able to block with morsels or put a morsel down to block and also give it a damage shield or something, for example. Just wouldn't really happen. It'd make a lot of dead draws here. This card's not really working out for us right now, but I mean, if we draw it early enough and we get one of our big units out of it, it could be good. So far, we just mostly pulled our train stewards. I guess we got a morsel on that last one, but it's not amazing. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Not sure Cave-In really does it for us. This would allow us to like, on that floor where we have the morsel maker, allow us to put other morsels down. And then this, of course, gives you damage shield, which is just pretty nice, but also gives you 2 uncommon or rare morsels. Not bad, but I mean, we are finding it hard to place morsels, even the good ones, just because we run out of space. So it's a bit tricky right now. Feast would allow him. Let's take Feast and use that to help our Gorge unit to get more from the damage shields benefit. Try and get him more and more damage shields. And then I think we can take, well, actually Sap is a debuff, so maybe we shouldn't take it. It's really good, and it could be really helpful. I don't think the boss hits itself with the debuff removal thing. I could be wrong about that, but I wonder if maybe they don't. Eh, all units of the effect. I mean, that probably includes itself. This might be the safer bet. I would have really liked Sap, but because of the boss, we went with the other one. Just felt like the safer option. Here, I think we're going to go this way, because both of these could lead to something really good, and also we could really stand to upgrade a couple things, particularly the spell we just got. Also, I'm not sure what we'd really want to duplicate. We want more damage, which maybe we could get if we duplicate like our incant ladies so that we have 2 of them going. They would both potentially get benefit from, if we got them on the same floor with this guy in front. Right now we can't do that, but we're pretty close to Fel, yeah. So we'd be able to do it after this fight. We do need damage. That does kind of guarantee us a better damage floor. I'm almost talking myself into doing it this way. And I've done it. I've talked myself into it. The idea being, the number one thing we need right now is damage. And our best damage dealer, unit-wise anyways, is her. Maybe our champion, close between the two. But she's definitely one of our best cards that deals damage. Spells, maybe there's a couple of that are arguably better. I was going to say I didn't actually pay attention to which one she was, but then I saw this card, and that answers our question. So, now we just have the usual, excuse me, Usual fun game of deciding where everything goes. We could put him down here on the bottom with the siren behind, and we could put him maybe on the top. It gives our damage shield guy more turns to get his damage shield, so I guess that's worth doing. And then we'll put him down here, and since we don't have enough for that anyways, we'll get the incant trigger. And you know what? Here, have a damage shield and a snack. So we can get one of them going behind here already, which is good. This does kill 2 of them, so that's pretty nice. This does nothing, but it does trigger incant, so let's do that. I think that's worth doing. That way we start getting kills here, and then we get less of these in the future. That's the thinking anyways. So we do want to cast her. Almost for certain. Let's take that guy out. The fact that they're all dying is really nice. We can give him another 3 health and a life steal, sure. Why not? Actually, we probably should have given him life steal. And then I think we can probably should remove this, basically. Try not to take too much pyre damage from those dang cards. These guys are so big. It's rough. Alright, we got our Gorge unit, which is good. A little late, but still better late than never in this instance, especially. Now this is what we want to cast on a morsel that we put out front. Obviously not going to be an option for us here. We'd rather get the incant triggers going down here, so let's just keep this rolling. She's a bit in a tough spot right now. Hopefully we can draw some sort of tank-worthy unit. Not exactly. These are really hurting our draw. Having those come back around. Okay, let's get rid of one of those. I think we can afford to get rid of another, and then we'll do this, which gives us a train steward, as we were expecting. He takes 2 attacks, so he does save her life, and then I think we can do this. It's going to cost us next turn's mana a little bit, but I'm hoping that we can kind of leverage some of her strength this way. We should draw something. Yeah, this will work for this round. We definitely want to cast this. We definitely want to cast this, but I think we're going to do it on this floor right here. So we are taking hits to the pyre, and it's rough, but I mean, it's kind of expected. That's why we needed the extra damage. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll get rid of that. Let's do this. We'll get rid of that. And we have kind of just deferred those to pick up later, but nice. That takes care of that floor, which is really good. Here, we only need this to do 3 damage, so we can cast down here, and then we can cast that there. Now she's healthy. And we'll just give her a blocker. That'll be the point of that guy. We could I guess we could cast this on him just to get the incant trigger. Because he gets killed so we don't suffer the Ember Drain. Okay, final wave. So, since this is final wave, this is a pretty easy option. We don't really want it on this floor unless we use it to block one of the attacks, which I guess is a fine option. And then we want to do... We're going to have Lifesteal 3. It's not going to do much on her since she's not going to get hit for that many turns. And then we want to cast that. It's not like a wicked amount of damage, but something. I think we can afford to do this and then either do that or even just take this guy out. Because it's only 6 damage. It's not crazy high. Let's hit her for it. I think these guys will die up here, no problem. This guy's just healing. It's not a great draw, but at least we did get these together, which is something. Yikes. Okay. So instead of spending 3 mana to cast that tooth, we can spend 3 mana to remove those from our deck. We didn't get a lot from that floor. That's obvious. Here we are doing enough. We're 8 shy, which we're gonna clear up with this, so no problem. Got an itch, and then I'll go back to holding right click to make this go quick. So I think where the like I've just kind of realized, I think where the Crucible Collector, which is the other form of this guy, shines, but the Crucible Warden falls a little flatter. Maybe what I was gonna say was you can make the Crucible Collector do more damage because he life steals and that heals him up, so it doesn't matter if he has a smaller health pool. But I guess then if he gets hit hard enough before he gets to life steal it back, then he dies. And then damage shield, it doesn't matter how much your health is, you're just taking it to the shield. So I guess there's an argument that maybe I should have made him not as healthy and made him do more damage. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the case. These are debuffs, otherwise it's pretty good. We could potentially use another one of these. They're pretty strong, we just want to make it cost less. And then this could also like bail us out of some bad situations. I'll take this. I think it could potentially save us as well as save our damage shield unit. Some damage shield resources. This is a tough choice too now. We've got enough health that we don't need to go this way. But I mean, Merchant of Trinkets, plus we've got a decent amount of cash with that included. Or we go this way and we can upgrade our units, which we get an upgrade there. I think that's about it actually, yeah. So we don't have a lot of units to be upgraded, so yeah, this is the right choice. The correct choice, I think. Do we consume much? We consume that card, but we are okay with it. Consume this, but we're definitely okay with it because it's never actually worked for us in any particularly meaningful way. So not crazy about any of that. I'm not crazy about this either. This is a pretty small deal. Would make all of our morsels a little tankier, which maybe means that they could block a few more hits. It's a bit of a whiff. This might be able to remove Ember Drain from some units, or those units who disables triggered abilities, which those units that have Harvest on the final boss. Now, is it worth 205 bucks? Only just. I don't think either of these two are really worth that much. Honestly, none of those artifacts were super exciting, and that's pretty disappointing. This is a lot of damage, so I think we go with this one. We need damage, and our champion's bringing some. So these guys cause Ember Drain. It's a strike, which is a trigger ability, so that might be removed by our silenced effect. Otherwise, the rest of it's fine. He has a triggered ability as well, though I feel like it might not hit the boss. This is tempting. An extra 400 gold could go a long way in the final floor there. We have another Merchant of Trinkets. I know ours kind of just let us down here, but a second chance might be perfect. It's probably going to cost us some pyre health if we're honest, because 120 health, 100 armor. Yeah, we've got big health pools to get through, and I've been saying it for a while now. Our damage isn't quite our strength, anyways. I won't say it's not quite there, because it might be, but it's not our strength right now. So I think we can afford to put these on this floor. We'd like him to... We'd like an extra turn so we can keep getting set up, is basically where I'm at with that. And we did get the turn to get set up, so that's nice. How much damage does this do? 9 plus 3. You didn't get the... you're dead anyways. So I think we gotta use this. That's our best single source of damage. Unfortunately, it's only one spell, so we're not getting a lot of incant triggers, but we're wiping him out, so that's solid. This is not enough to kill him, so we wouldn't gain 2 Ember back. Might as well just hit this guy with it. Hopefully we can kill him next turn. So we did draw our tank for this floor, so now at least we have some setups going on, which is nice. I'm going to do this on this floor. Let's get rid of a train steward here. Maybe I should have got rid of this, since it's going to be hard to justify putting on something right now. This probably only works on that floor, but it doesn't matter. We're going to cast it for the incant triggers. Now we could do this, save ourselves, well, no damage because we're going to cast this. So instead we're going to save the Ember Drain and we're going to do it this way. So we know that we've got the top front guy killed at least. Sadly, we do not have him killed yet, but we might be able to do it. What is he surviving with? He's surviving with 7 HP and we do 6 damage here. So not quite, but maybe we can get there. What do we discard in this situation? Probably this. I think it's too early for an Ember Drain on ourselves. We want to cast a couple of these. Let's give him more damage shield since that's his whole deal. Then we could make a Well, there's no room for a train steward, and also we wouldn't get to kill this guy because the train steward would come out stunned or dazed or whatever. Do this. We're on him for just a little bit of damage. Let's do that just to get the trigger. I don't think we cast him though. And then we might as well get the energy and the damage shield off of that. So we are taking pyre damage, and we are going to continue taking pyre damage unless we get some really lucky draws, which this isn't quite what we're looking for there. I think this is better on this floor because it has a chance of killing those back units. Unfortunately, only hit them once each, I think. So we're not getting the kill on the back units. We're doing 26, and you have 28. We're gonna just do that, and now you're taking 110 damage, which is significantly more than you were. Sadly, still not quite enough to kill him, so we are gonna take some more pyre damage. Yeah, let's cast this on this floor, and we'll give it to you. So things are going well for the boss fight. The good is that it's gonna go well once the boss shows up, which is soon. The bad is that it's currently leading to a lot of pyre damage. This, however, should help us a good deal. So all we have to do now is spend our other 3 mana appropriately. I think this is as appropriate as it gets for this. We'll give you another damage shield up here, and then we'll cast that. And I guess since this is free, we might as well. Try and... that guy was dying already. I should have used it on the next one. So, this guy's coming. He coming. So we're gonna cast this on this floor. Do we want that for this floor? I mean, maybe. Let's just admit that that guy's useless to us, so we'll get rid of that. This is gonna make it hard to cast much next turn, but I think that's fine to do. And I think we can do this. So yeah, we got a few hits in on our pyre, and our pyre went from, I think it was like 120, 110 to 92. But we've got him dead, and we haven't even reached the stronger floor, so that gives me a lot of confidence, actually. I'm gonna give you life steal, and give you life steal. Make you even stronger. There. Fully played it out. So I guess it's just because they're bringing so much damage. Yeah. Death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, I think we also negated his... I think we did silence the boss there. Because he should have been hitting stronger, or getting stronger every time he got hit. But I think we turned that off. This is really good. This is what we want. The Ember Drain is hard to deal with, but the rest of it is so good. I think there's actually a place for this in our deck. This is good too, obviously. I mean, we've got one and we really like it. We could stand to have another. But this kind of works similarly, where if we've got something in our hand like that, or the Pyrebound one, or etc., where we want to cast it, we just don't necessarily want to cast it yet. This could really, really do some work for us, I think. Now, here is an interesting question. Which way to go? And I think the answer is right, because we could upgrade this. We could upgrade this a little bit. We could upgrade that a little bit. We could upgrade this for sure. And this. Yeah, we've got more to gain from going for spells than from units. What we're going to duplicate, we'll have to decide based on what we pull out of these options. 2 frostbite on the enemy units isn't amazing. It's a little too late for the light stone casing, I think. I mean, granted, we could potentially make the world's strongest spell, but I think it's a little too late. I don't see really how we can make it work for us unless we made this like holdover and plus 10 damage or something like that. Or this one, plus 10 holdover. And then there's this, which is okay. It's basically just 15 more pyre health. It's armor, which is nice because it would come back every round, but since we're at the final boss, it's basically just 15 more pyre health. Permafrost, we're kind of going to do that with our card, so maybe we skip adding it to something, unless I just want to do it to this one, just because this does basically require, it has requirements to be used. Poke myself in the eye. I'm a dummy. Okay. We've got a lot of gold, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm also gonna go ahead and do that, because that's a significant upgrade. That added 50 damage to that spell, which is insane. I think making this spell cheaper is very good, because it's a really strong spell for us. It's just really expensive. We can put holdover on something, so we could. Let me look again. 20. It consumes. If it was the plus 10, I would do it on this and then put holdover on it by buying that relic, like we had talked about. But because it consumes, holdover obviously doesn't really work. We could hold this over. It would be, was that 5 times 14, which is 70 damage every round, just spread throughout the enemies, which means it can hit the back units. It can kill the little guys, which is nice. We could put holdover on this. It gives us an incant trigger every turn, and anytime there's a offering to play, it gives us that as well. I don't mind that option. We don't have a ton of offering. I mean, I think we just have literally the one. So maybe that's not actually worth that much. What I gotta think about here is that I'm gonna duplicate something. So what's our best spell to be duplicated? Because I'm thinking it might be better than a unit is to duplicate one of these really strong spells. And this does, but I said this one already does like 70 per round. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to add any damage to these spells, but we can make this one cheaper. Now we could give it a holdover. It's a little expensive for being cast every turn, but we could potentially find the ember to do it. It's 53 times 3, so it's 159. That's easily our best damage spell, I believe. Yeah, pretty easily. Oh, you know which one I like holdover on? Is this one. I'm surprised it took me that long to think of it, but like if we can cast that every turn and we'll just make it one cheaper, well now it's suddenly just an easy to cast spell. Before I go crazy with this, I do kind of want to remove those offering tokens, because now I don't think we need them. But this spell is quite nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think we need a duplicate of it, but I'm happy to have that. I do think we still want to duplicate this as our most damaging spell. It's just nice to have a second. So I don't think we need any of these. So we're going to do that. Damage shield 2 to the first friendly unit summoned each turn. Start of battle, summon a morsel miner on each floor. I don't think this is worth that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's worth that much. It's just one morsel miner per floor. These are all weird and kind of interesting, but not exactly like amazing. I do kind of like this. We end up casting most of our units by like the third turn. If we're like, hopefully anyways, we have them all of them out by third or fourth turn. So it's only gonna have a use 3 or 4 times, really. I mean, I guess I could probably find ways to make it work other times. So sure, we'll try it out. With this plus this, we could actually potentially, every time we summon a morsel on that turn, we could use it as a blocker and it would get damage shield 3. I just kind of put that together, and that's kind of an interesting option for us. I think it's worth cutting one of these offering tokens. We just don't need either of them really, but it's okay to have one, I think. I mean, we have no choice but to keep the one we have. So I'm hoping we made some good decisions there. Oh, the damage shields are going to be debuffed. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to do our best. Okay, so we do like playing this guy, this floor on the top to give our damage shield unit the longest time possible to gain his damage shields. I don't mind that the champion got the effects of that damage shield. With 1 ember, I could do this, and if we draw a unit, I cast it. If we don't, I save this and cast it instead. Okay, so we get rid of that, and we cast this to kill one of these guys. Do you have harvest? You do. Ugh. Ugh. I hate those units with the harvest, especially as Umbra. So now these guys should have, oh yeah, just damage shield 1 because they're not the first unit of the turn. But we did silence that guy, so we're not going to get Ember Drained, which is really nice. Unless we Ember Drain ourselves, but we're probably not going to do that right now. Do you have Sweep? No, just Harvest. Do you have Sweep? You do have Sweep. You do 4 damage. So you're going to kill the morsels, but that's it. Oh, we gave her damage shield. Didn't even really think about that. Probably should start thinking about these things. This can block 11 damage, or we give him lifesteal and he gets 5 healing. So we're probably better off blocking the 11 damage. Or he blocks 11 damage. Actually, this guy will come out with damage shield 1, so he can block way more than 11. He'll block both of these units, so that's really solid. There's probably a better target for this, but I'm going to cast this on this to keep it around and to give a incant trigger to both my units. Do Do you harvest? No. So we can afford to lose this guy here. I think that's okay. We don't really want to be drawing train stewards. At least not regularly. Granted, we don't have many in the deck to draw them regularly. It's not really an option. Okay, we have this with holdover, and it costs 0, so we can cast it for sure. Put her at the back since she's got the damage shield. While we have this, we might want to cast it. It's gonna give us a lot of Ember Drain, which really sucks. But at the same time, giving our champion multi-strike does so much work. Just so much work. It's silly how much it does for us. So I think we actually want to cast this here just to save our tank unit a little bit. I don't think we should really add any more Ember Drain right now. We're already kind of like not going to be able to cast a lot of things for a while. I don't think it's a good idea to stack up on top of that. We're kind of banking on our champion to be the finisher, the closer. We're gonna cast this up here, I think, this time. Then again, we could work it this way. Cast it here. We'll give him another couple damage shields, so he'll take significantly reduced damage. I think he would take 24 still, maybe. But then we can cast this on this floor to make it so that he survives a little longer. That said, we're most of our eggs are in the basket of our champion. We do need to make sure our pyre survives, so we can't just keep letting things move on up. Unpunished anyways. Here, I do think we actually have a little bit of an option to do this. And then we can put a damage shield in front of our boy here. We can murder one of these guys, which gives us some Ember back. Lifesteal and Ember Drain. How's your health? You're a little low. You could use the lifesteal, but I don't really want to. We're just getting past this Ember Drain. I don't really want to add to it again. Then I can do this. You're healing off of this already, so maybe we do it here. Our Pyre's taking some more damage. This is getting really, really close to dead for our Pyre, which is bad. I mean, obviously it's bad. We can hit you with the Titan's tooth. So let's cast this here. And cast this here. And then we'll cast this up here so that we hit him and kill him. I think we've started to make our middle floor do enough damage to be pleased with. I think this is fine to cast here, although we could cast it here too. But I think we gotta clear this floor. There, now they're taken care of. Now we can afford to throw a little damage his way, and then we can daze them all. So we're buying time here. I think we're getting close to final round. Yep, final wave. Here it is. So we need. You guys are all dead already, and you're healing, which is great. So with that in mind, I'm going to focus here a little bit harder. I'm going to give him lifesteal, and I'm going to daze all of these units. Now, I really hope these units don't kill us. I don't like that we're not doing any damage to the boss currently. So I'm going to cast this right here. We'll cast it on this. This can do 100 and... It's enough to this guy that we could probably get through to him for a lot more. How are we doing here? We're surviving. Okay. So let's do that. And then let's do this. And now we're doing 551, which is so much more significant that I think we have a chance. We're only about halfway there. And we have some options, some units to play. Doesn't matter. They're gonna get damage shields out the wazoo. We're so good, so close. 1565 out of 1902. We didn't do enough damage to him before this. And our pirate has like no health. We're not gonna win. 330, 297 health left. We missed it by 300 damage. That's rough. Oh, well. We got close, and that was our first attempt at Covenant rank 16 there. So we know we can do it. We know we can make it work. We'll just have to come back next time and make it happen. All right, thanks for checking me out, everybody. See you next time.